The anarchists killed innocent people and forced hundreds of villagers to work for them as slaves. They were blinded by the strength of their army, while being completely unaware of the fact that few crazy individuals have entered their den to hunt each one of them down on that particular day. Welcome back to Paramount Recapped. I don't have many subscribers, but your single comment is a ray of hope to motivate me. The movie kicks off in 1879 in a sleepy little town called Rose Creek. Things are going all right until a big-shot tycoon, Bartholomew Bogue, decides to waltz in with his hired goons and basically say, hey, this town's mine now. Oh, and I'll take those gold mines too, thanks. He's not exactly winning any popularity contests. He's bribing the sheriff, paying the townspeople next to nothing, and causing chaos just for fun. Imagine a landlord who raises your rent and then slashes your tires for good measure. The townsfolk are fed up and meet in the church to discuss options, which are about as limited as the Wi-Fi signal in that town. They've got two choices: give up their land or stand up to Bogue, who's probably got villain listed as his full-time job on LinkedIn. Emma and her husband Matthew, they're not giving in, not even for 20 bucks. Just as they're trying to figure things out, who should show up? Yep, Bogue himself, crashing the party like an unwanted guest at a wedding. He announces that he's buying up all the land for a whole $20. Talk about bargain shopping, and gives the residents 2 weeks to pack up and get out. He even throws in a special offer: resist, and he'll kill the women and kids. What a guy, right? Naturally, people are livid, but Bogue isn't exactly the forgiving type. In true villain fashion, he burns the church down and has his men rough up the town, killing a few people for emphasis, including poor Matthew, who probably just wanted to get out of the meeting early. Meanwhile, elsewhere, we got a U.S. Marshal named Sam Chisholm, who's hunting down a criminal by the name of Powder Dan. Sounds like a breakfast cereal, but this guy's no joke. Sam strolls into a bar asking for Dan, only to realize that, plot twist, the bartender is Dan. Guest Dan Skip, how to lay low when you're wanted class. Sam doesn't waste time, though, and in true Wild West fashion, takes him down in a showdown. The rest of the bar clears out, except for this guy named Joshua Faraday, who's sitting there sipping his drink like it's just another Tuesday. After dealing with Powder Dan, Sam's off on his next mission. But not before Emma and her buddy Teddy catch up to him. They explain that Bogue's turned their town into a nightmare, and they need help. They've even collected a pile of donations, probably mostly in coins because, well, 1879. Sam listens, and after pocketing the money, who wouldn't? He agrees to help. Meanwhile, Faraday's having his own drama. He's just won big at a poker game and is about to leave when the other players, Sir Losers, corner him. They try to intimidate him with guns, but Faraday's not having it. He pulls off some fancy card tricks like he's auditioning for a Vegas magic show and takes down the group in style. He's looking to buy a horse to make his escape when Sam shows up again, offering him a horse if he helps with the Rose Creek mission. Faraday's like, free horse? Sign me up, and Sam sweetens the deal with some gold coins. Faraday's in. Sam sends Faraday and Teddy to find Goodnight Robichaux, a former Confederate sniper with a name straight out of a romance novel. While Sam and Emma go off to recruit another guy, they find out their target has already been killed by a criminal named Vasquez. Sam, being the generous type, doesn't hold a grudge and offers Vasquez a spot in the team, promising him some gold in return. Vasquez is like, gold? I'm in. Faraday and Teddy, meanwhile, track down Goodnight in a nearby village, where he's showing off his sidekick Billy's insane knife-throwing skills. Billy's basically the guy you don't want to challenge to a game of darts. Goodnight hears Sam's involved and jumps on board, bringing Billy along too. Now the squad's coming together like an all-star team, except instead of basketball, their game is shooting bad guys. As they ride toward Rose Creek, they take a pit stop at a hut. Two guys show up trying to sell them rifles that supposedly belong to the infamous assassin, Jack Horn. But before they can close the deal, one of the men gets sniped from a distance. Enter Jack Horn himself, looking as mad as someone who just found out their Netflix subscription went up. Turns out, the rifles were stolen from him. Impressed by his sharpshooting, Sam invites Jack to join the team. Jack's like, sure, why not? The crew's almost complete when a young Comanche warrior named Red Harvest shows up, eager to join the fight. After a long trek, they finally arrive at Rose Creek. Sam spreads out the team to take up positions, ready to confront Bogue's men. Sheriff Harp and McCann, Bogue's right-hand man, are waiting for them, and McCann, trying to sound tough, warns Sam about the 22 armed men they've got stationed around. Sam, totally unfazed, with everyone in place, Sam makes his move, goading McCann into a fight. McCann and his men are ready to shoot, but Sam's squad shows off their skills, mowing down Bogue's men like they're in a video game on easy mode. Faraday's tossing cards, Billy's throwing knives, and Sam's just casually out shooting everyone. McCann's men don't stand a chance. Even though Goodnight's got a killer reputation as a sharpshooter, he's freezing up like he just forgot his lines at an audition. Not a single shot fired from him, even with an enemy right in front of him. Guess even the best have their off days. Goodnight was struggling to shoot during the battle, haunted by PTSD from his time as a Confederate soldier. He had to rely on Faraday and Billy for support, realizing that if he didn't confront his past, it could jeopardize their mission. After taking down McCann's crew, he knew he had to face his inner demons. After the fight, Sam sent a message to Bogue, making it clear they were determined to free Rose Creek. Emma rallied the townspeople, but they were still unsure about the Magnificent Seven taking on Bogue. Sam inspired them to fight for their home, and the group began training the locals in combat. They raided Bogue's gold mine, freeing the workers and finding explosives to use against him. In Sacramento, Sheriff Harp delivered Sam's message to Bogue, but Bogue lost it and killed him without hesitation. He then ordered Denali and McCann to gather more men and prepare for a massive attack on Rose Creek. The next day, Sam had Billy keeping watch from the church tower while the rest of the group set up traps for Bogue's arrival. The night before the attack, Goodnight, haunted by war memories and fearing what might happen if he killed again, decided to leave. Emma volunteered to take his place with the Magnificent Seven. Sam asked the others if they wanted to stick with the mission or leave, but Faraday and the rest chose to stay and help Rose Creek. When morning arrived, Sam, the Magnificent Seven, and the townspeople prepared for Bogue's attack with his 200 men. As Bogue's crew charged, they fell into traps, stepped on bombs, and got ambushed. A chaotic battle broke out, with the Magnificent Seven showing off their skills while the townsfolk pitched in. Sam's strategy was effective, wiping out most of Bogue's men with minimal civilian casualties. During the battle, Faraday got ambushed and shot in the stomach. Just as things looked grim, Vasquez saved him. Goodnight also returned, helping finish off the remaining enemies. He warned Sam about Bogue's mercenaries armed with a Gatling gun, and soon enough, Bogue's crew unleashed chaos with it, taking out both townsfolk and their own men. Realizing they were in deep trouble, the Magnificent Seven moved the survivors to the wrecked church on the hill to make a last stand. Jack tried to protect the injured Teddy from the gunfire, and after making sure Teddy was okay, he ended up getting ambushed and killed by Denali. Denali then barged into the building where Emma and another local were hiding, but Red Harvest swooped in just in time to take out Denali. Meanwhile, Faraday was on a mission to take out that Gatling gun and asked Sam to cover him while he made his move. Goodnight and Billy decided to help distract Bogue and his men with their gunfire while Faraday made a break for it. Faraday finally made it to the Gatling gun. Ready to give it all, he had to destroy it and take down Bogue's crew, but he was down to just 2 of his buddies. Bogue marched into town, ordering his men to search every building in Rose Creek. Sam jumped in and quickly took out the last 2 mercenaries before disarming Bogue by shooting the gun out of his hand. A wounded Bogue tried to retreat into the church, where Sam revealed that Bogue's hired guns had killed his family back in 1867. After pushing Bogue to repent, Sam moved to capture him, but Bogue went for a hidden gun. That's when Emma stepped in and shot him dead. As the townsfolk returned to Rose Creek, they showered Sam, Vasquez, and Red Harvest with gratitude for their bravery. Later, they buried Faraday, Robichaux, Billy, and Horn near the town, remembering them as heroes. Emma couldn't help but reflect on how their noble sacrifices defined what it meant to be part of the Magnificent Seven.